Well, I'm really pleased that President Biden has changed his position, is actually providing the equipment necessary for the people of Ukraine to defend themselves. And so it doesn't require American military personnel to serve, but by having the equipment to also have the NATO allies come together and provide equipment. The people of Ukraine are being so brave. I had the opportunity to visit Kyiv, Ukraine last December, and I saw their resolve. And so I'm really not surprised. It's really reinforcing to see how the Ukrainians are resisting the war criminal Putin and the murderous attacks by Putin's forces and the sacrificing of young Russians. And so it's a gruesome war that should have never occurred. There should never be a land war in Europe in the 21st century. And so we need to do all we can to stop it. And the way to stop it is peace through strength by providing equipment to Ukraine.
Okay, what about the Iran nuclear deal?
The Iran nuclear deal is insane. By providing billions of dollars to a government that has proclaimed death to Israel, death to America, just doesn't make sense. And they never actually were going to reduce their nuclear capability because they never stopped developing the capability of an intercontinental ballistic missile. The only reason for an intercontinental ballistic missile is to launch a nuclear warhead against the United States. And so the naivete of trying to reach an agreement with Tehran, first of all, their promise to vaporize the people of Israel, but ultimately, of course, to attack the United States. And so a deal will not work, and this should be bipartisan. It's not Democrat or Republican. I've worked together with Senator Joe Lieberman, with former Democrat Chairman of the Foreign Affairs Committee, Eliot Engel. All of us agree that the Iran deal is not in the interest of the American people.
Okay, thank you. What about the Biden student loan plan?
I'm really concerned because it's obvious, $300 billion. The consequence of such a move, again with inflation, we see at the grocery store every day, we see gas prices have doubled. This solely would put a situation of enhancing inflation without any explanation of how it's going to be paid for.
Okay, and what about the Trump's Mar-a-Lago FBI going in?
I'm just really disappointed. I have stated before, it's inconceivable to me that you would have a Biden raid on the Trump home. There should never be an evidence of a president or former president having their home raided. And I would not favor that against the Clinton family, the Biden family, the Obama family. There should be no invasion of a home. We should be rule of law, whereby you could have subpoenas for documents and information, but not send law enforcement. I just think it's a travesty of justice, and the Trump family should not be subjected to this. Melania Trump should not have her clothes searched. This is just inconceivable and is wrong, and I hope it's corrected.
Last question, the January 6th committee, its findings, what have you learned about
my view about the January 6th, anybody who came into the Capitol building should be prosecuted, and anybody who committed violence should be prosecuted. But I'm very disappointed that the security was not in place to stop this. It should have been in place. The Capitol Police were not fully staffed. The intelligence was clear that there were going to be persons, provocateurs, far right, far left, to come and cause trouble. And so there should have been security provided. President Trump offered 20,000 National Guard troops, but it was never followed through.